Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gamers Vault, and I'm your host, James. Today we have to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to do a review, and then we're going to do a PSP mod, as the title suggests. So I have a couple of things I want to talk about. I'm sorry I was away. I was really sick in the hospital for a few days, so videos are definitely late. Again, I guess it's nature, can I tell you? I'm a little better now, so that's a good thing. I do recognize that I do have a couple of new subscribers, so guys, welcome and thank you for checking out my video. This video is a dedication video, but before I get into that, I was supposed to do a PSP Vita change, like the motherboard change and everything else, but they sent me the wrong board, and I ordered a new one, but it's coming from China. So we all know how that's gonna go. It's gonna take a long time to get here, but I had to give you guys some kind of video, and this is it. This is a dedication video to one of my podcast co-hosts. His name is Sean. We are on Transatlantic Retro together, and we do a lot of talking with RetroTech 100, Kieran Bowes, and of course Benny from A Hermit's Hideaway. We go on all the time, and we have so much fun. So I'll leave all those links below to our RetroTech 100 Facebook page, as well as Transatlantic Retro Facebook. So if you haven't listened to the podcast, it's usually about an hour and a half long. Check it out. I mean, it's pretty cool. We talk about everything: Sinclair computers, Commodores, Game Boys, modding, everything, even the latest gaming news. So check it out. And I want to thank Sean for this, because with him, he helped me out so much with the PSP 2000 mod, and we needed a help. We needed to get that help, and it was phenomenal. So I definitely appreciate his help. Everything he gave us was just awesome. All right. The next thing, I was approached by a lot of YouTubers. I get talked to by a lot of different YouTubers, and I love watching different people and what their styles are. I love watching it. I'm sure that's what you guys are watching me right now. I'm having a unique style. Other people have their own unique style. Perfect, right? So this person here is better than the game chasers. Now, I love game chasers. I love game chasing. That's what I like to do as a hobby. I go around searching for the deals to increase my library, my gaming library. And I have to do, again, I have to do a walkthrough of my library. I have so much games to show you guys. It's ridiculous. But as I love the game chasers, this YouTuber, 10 times better than the game chasers. If you have not seen this guy, I'm going to link him down below, but his YouTube name is Wes, $2 Wes, and his channel is called Real Life Arcade. Oh my god, I'm just going to put a video right here. I'm going to put it right here, and you need to take a look at it. You guys are going to love his video. While I was away, I was able to watch in the hospital the videos that he had, and it helped me out because, you know, while you're there, you don't want to think about what's going on. You want to take your mind off on things, and oh my god, he does game chasing. He goes to his locals. He meets up a guy named Jason who owns games over Cincinnati. So if you're in that area, go to his store. Oh my god, you're gonna see it in his videos. He already finished season 1, and he's in the midst of season 2. And the best part about it all, while I was away, my fiance got the mail, and I got a gift from Real Life Arcade, and I'm going to show it to you guys today, and we're going to take a look at it right here. So the first thing is, and I love these things, this, and this. So in case you haven't figured it out, it's the Nintendo version of Link fighting him. Oh my god, I love these things. I love these. They're really nice. I love these things. On top of that all off, ooh, I dropped something. Excuse me. I'm not gonna leave that on the floor because that's disrespectful. I dropped something. But the top of all off, guys, this is the whole entire season of Real Life Arcade themed after Grand Theft Auto, and let me tell you, oh my god, fantastic DVD. This is just fantastic. He has bonus content, extended footage, deleted scenes, everything you could ever want. And I highly recommend watching his channel, but I also highly recommend picking one of these up. It does normally come sealed, and for me, I have all my Game Chaser DVDs signed by the Game Chasers, and I believe someone that worked hard on their channel and then produced their DVDs deserves to have their autograph. So mine is autographed by Wes, $2 Wes. Even the DVD is autographed. On top of that loft, he's got different merchandise. Guys, just check him out. Just take 2 minutes and check it out. I guarantee you're going to binge watch every episode. That's what I did while I was away in the hospital, and it kept me through it. He is undaunting. He trust me. You just take 2 minutes and watch him. It's just fantastic. He goes through so much stuff, and he goes on so many adventures to find retro video games. He goes to the stores and he makes deals with the stores, and he's just dude. I can't say anymore. Just watch him. I showed you a video, a slight snippet of what it looks like. Just check it out. But beside that, guys, I know what you're here for. It's the PSP 2000 mod, and I'm going to go ahead and show you that today. And if you have any questions or comments or that, leave them down below. I have no problem in helping out Sean, who took his time to help me out, answer a lot of my questions. I will help you answer yours. What am I talking? Let's just get started. Alright guys, so I wanted to show you guys what we're going to need with this build, pretty much. Of course, the PSP 2000. Now, I wanted to remind you guys that this PSP does not read any games, so I'm not really breaking it because it's already broken, and I don't really want to fix it because I already have one. So this is just for me to mess around with. The next part that you're going to need is a battery. Now, my friend Sean, he put a video up on our Facebook post, well, not mine or ours. It belongs to RetroTech 100. He put a video up on there on how to do it. So what I wanted to show you was, this is a non-combative battery. It's instant. I mean, what the hell? It does show you the positive and negative lines, which is pretty cool. The only thing that you could see how cheaply it's made. I'm going to put it as best as I can. When taking this off, this thing's de-weld or desoldered, which is not a problem. I'll resolder them back on. But you can just see, just showing this like this, see they hooked the batteries up to the bottom here, which is perfect because when I put my new battery on, I'll just solder the wires to these. So there's a positive, negative lines, and it's like the ground goes pretty much almost nowhere. So there you go. Just be careful when you pull these batteries apart. This is the hardest, almost the hardest part of the build. So pulling these batteries apart to pain in the butt. Next is the battery. Now, I forgot the what do you call that for the battery? The mod or whatever, but this is what the battery looks like. It is freaking huge. It looks really big. But it's going to take over the half the size of the of inside here. So, pretty much it's going to sit like this inside here because it's pretty much empty at the end when we take it apart. So, that's basically what the battery is going to be doing. So yeah. This is the case for the battery for the new PSP, the new see-through case. I'll show you guys that in a little bit. This is going to be the card. You're going to put a micro SD card into this Pro Duo stick, which will allow you to put your ROMs, emulators, whatever on here and expand the battery and expand the storage capacity of your PSP. In the brown box is a brand new screen. Now, it does come with a new screen. I mean, it comes with a regular screen on it, but it's so waterlogged, damaged, so I had to buy another one. So that's what that is. It's a brand new PSP 2000 Slim screen. So without further ado, I'm going to crack into it. This is, if you're asking yourself what these are, I'm going to tell you real quick. This is a screen protector for the new PSP. And then this right over here is to kind of like a quick release of the battery in case you have to reset the battery. This was recommended by my friend Sean, my friend and co-host Sean from Transatlantic Retro, and also he's been on the podcast for a while, so he recommended I get one of these. I think it's a good idea, so I picked it up. Anyway, guys, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is take our PSP apart. Now, this one didn't come with the back cover, so that actually helps me out. But for you guys who are doing this for the first time, yeah, you got to take your back cover off and, of course, the battery, right? So with the PSP, there are several screws that you got to keep in mind with. There's a screw here, 2 screws here, screws here, and there's also screws underneath the sticker. So there's one here and one here. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our screwdriver, which is going to work out really well for us, and start taking it off. Now, those of you guys who are not replacing the screens, once I get inside, I'll show you guys what I mean about the screen. You just got to be careful when you take this apart. Just because you have all the screws out doesn't mean you relax. You never relax on this kind of build, because the stickers are like paper. Inside here, you're gonna see, like, wow, what the hell is going on here? They're like paper in here, and if you just pull it out quickly enough, you'll break the seal. You'll break the sticker, and then you have to wait for new parts. I don't know about you, but waiting for new parts for this thing is a pain in the butt. It took a while to get these parts, just to get these parts up. So there we go. Just be careful not to strip your screws. This one almost gave me a hard time, but thank God the screwdriver took care of it. There we go. Now, once you have all your screws out, it's really easy. This front panel is going to come out first. Well, it's supposed to. There you go. Unless I left the screw in there. Did I leave the screw in here? Because I feel like this. Okay. This is where your trusted tweezers come into play. So, what you're going to do is, you're going to go underneath here, get to what you can, and then just pull out. Now, how do I say this? AliExpress, which is the place where I bought the cover from, they sent me brand new stickers to make it look legitimate. Be honest with you, I kind of agree with them. Thank you for sending it to me, but overall, I don't want to use their stickers. I'm trying to get the sticker out in its entirety, so that way I can put it in the new shell, because I kind of like to keep the original stuff. At least try to. The sticker is definitely not going to come out easily. There we go. There you go. So there's a sticker, what it looks like. That's what it looks like without it. So there is no screw at the bottom here. I was just freaking out over nothing. Let's go ahead and pull this thing apart now. There we go. Now, once you have it apart like this, you just easily pull it up, and there you go. Now, normally this would be the time when I tell you take this off, take this off, take this off. You can, if you're not replacing the screen, you can do that. That's not a problem. But I'm replacing almost everything. I'm going to show you what I mean. This is the new parts that was sent to me, and it has all the buttons that I need, plus the rubber pieces to it. So to me, it really doesn't make sense for me to just take that too. You can also pull this off, because you're going to take this off as well. See? Put that there. I got new stuff that are going to replace that, so it's going to make it look all black. Now, the reason why I'm not stopping the camera yet, because usually this is where I stop, so you guys can catch up. But The reason why I'm not stopping is because this is the main part. So, we need to remove this. This you can't break. We need this. This belongs to the board, right? So, the way this thing sits, it sits very weirdly. And the reason why I say that is because Nintendo. Wow, I'm so mad at Nintendo. But the way it sits is right here. It's like a hinge. So you want to get underneath the hinge, and then there you go. You pop that out, and you bring this up. See? Now, as you get, like I said to you before, you don't want to push on this. I mean, I don't care about the screen so much. I mostly care about the actual device here. So we're gonna take a look, make sure that nothing is in the way in the corners. Nothing's in the corners. All right. So this is pretty much out of the way. See? Now that it's down like this, don't pull on it. As you can see, it has a ribbon cable here. So I'm not going to go too further into it, guys, because then it'll be like a full disassembly video. There are too many of those on YouTube already, so I'm not going to do that full disassembly so you guys can see it. I will link a full disassembly video to a good YouTuber that has done it really, really well and very articulate with their stuff. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit till I get to my new case, so you guys can see it a little bit faster. So that way my videos will go on for 2 hours. So, be right back. Alright guys, so as you can see, we're almost there with the PSP. I'm going to take it apart real quick so you guys can take a look at it on the inside. The motherboard pretty much amazingly held on really well. As you can see, this is where the screen would go, everything would be back in. The plastic is not so bad. I just recommend, again, I will say at the end of the video, if you're going to use the screws that came with your PSP, just make sure that you put them into the holes here. I kind of like started out because this is a brand new piece of plastic, so it's just missing that. Okay, anyway, in the back, this is the back of the PSP. Now, as you can see, I completely left the actual UMD unit off because we're not going to need it anymore. I'm going to mod this out, so I'm not going to need it. So I want to put a specific battery. Like I showed you, the battery that I got originally was 2 times as big for this PSP. I couldn't use it. But then, thanks to my job, I work on a lot of electronics. They had broken tools, and one of them was this one, and it came out with this battery. This is a 3.7 volt, 24 milliamps battery. It does fit in the PSP, but with some problems. So hold on one second. It fits in like that. Now, it doesn't sit properly on the PSP. That's a problem, but not a problem. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna shave down this bar right here. Now, you want to shave them down as close as possible and no jagged edges, because as you can see, this is like a bag, right? So if you puncture this, the acid falls out and it will not only blow up, well, not blow up, but it would burn through the PSP, your screen, and if you have it in your pocket, it'll just send you to the hospital. So just for that, little reminder, guys, if you're underage and you're doing this mod, do not hold me responsible. Just don't do it. Do it with parents' permission and with a parent present. That's what I recommend. What am I going to use to cut this down? Now, a lot of people can use a razor blade or whatever and just go over, but I have a Dremel with a grinder. So what I'm going to do is, off camera, because I don't want you guys to, your hearing to blow up, I'm going to grind this down as much as I can, down further, so that way I can slip this battery in perfectly over the PSP. So I'll be back and we'll get to take a look at it. Alright guys, the next thing here, after shaving down my PSP, I'll show you real quick so you guys can see. It's shaved down pretty nicely. Sorry about the camera movement. It's shaved down pretty nicely. I don't have any jagged edges. I double checked everything and the battery fits perfect, which is exactly what we want. So it looks good. Now, okay, so now you need a PSP battery. Why do we need that? You're just putting a brand new battery in there. Why are we needing that? I'll tell you exactly why. First off, you get one that's Jabopowitz. So this is like an instant battery. I spent a couple bucks on it. I don't really care about it so much. So I spent a couple bucks, 1200 milliamps, whatever. You carefully take it apart. Carefully. So that's what I did here. I should turn on my... There we go. So I took it apart as carefully as I could. And this is what's inside of the instant battery. The main thing we need is this board. The best part about this thing is that it has the positive and negative side for this little battery in here. I'm going to desolder these off because we want them gone. When I did take it off, sorry about that. That was my heating of my soldering station. I did see that we taking this off, it messed up the little pins here, which I have to resolder, which is not a problem. So overall, what we're going to do is take our soldering pen, which is what I have here, and where is my solder sucker? Oh, there it is. Give me 1 second, guys. I may move the camera. I'm sorry. And what we're going to do is we're going to take off the old solder off of this this unit. So very easy. It's very time consuming. So if you're going to do this again, parents, permission, guys, don't do this by yourselves. I don't want no one to get hurt. That's not what my channel's about. So I'm going to try to bring this up. There we go. And it's out. That's one. And I'm going to do the same thing here. It's already moving. Already moving off. There you go. And that's two. Now, the next part I'm going to do is resolder back on these pins. But I can't do it with the camera, guys, unfortunately. But I am going to show you an up close of the pins so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Sorry about the traction. So the pins definitely desolder off. The reason why we want the board, because it's going to control the voltage going into the actual PSP. That's pretty much why we want this board intact. I don't really care about the battery so much. I mean, it's whatever. I need the positive and negative side, and it's going to give me what I want, because I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that in a minute. But we're going to have to resolder these back in, these board pieces. So I'll be back, and we'll show you the next part. Alright guys, so after fixing my issue with the desoldering of those pins, the reason why I chose this battery for one reason only, and it helps you. On this instant, if you look on the top corner right here, it says positive, negative. It actually tells you which one's positive and negative on those lines. So when I look at the board and I put it together like this, right, it tells me that this right here on our right, I'm going to try to do the best I can, on our right here, that's our positive side. That's our negative. So when I go ahead and put this together, when I go ahead and put this together, I have what I need. Now, normally, if you want to do it this way, you can. I can normally take the battery right here, put it directly to it, and that's the end of it. But what if this battery goes bad? Right? What do I do then? So my friend, again, this video is also dedicated, like I said at the beginning, to my friend Sean. He came up with the awesome idea. He bought this connector, and I'll put it in the links below. He said, dude, buy this connector, So that way you can disconnect and reconnect the battery if you have to reset the console, if the console freezes. You don't have to worry about going in and doing all the work that you just busted your butt doing. You don't have to always like take it out, because we don't want to damage these pins. These pins are really delicate. I want to leave it in the system. So all I got to do is disconnect this from the battery, and I'll leave the battery in there, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to solder this part onto this board. So that way we have those quick connects. And it doesn't have to be that long. It has to be shorter because, mind you, the battery's taking up almost half the spot in the PSP. So to me, it doesn't have to be that long. So again, you're going to measure out the best way you can using at this point your naked eye. That's what I did. And you do the best you can on it. But also, when you do soldering, there's a couple things you want to know. First of all, this is where it goes here, so let's make sure we put it in the right spot. Usually you get helping hands. I don't have helping hands. It looks similar to a picture. I'll throw it up on the screen so you guys can see it. But you get helping hands to help you hold the board in place. I don't have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in place the way I need it. I'm going to use a little bit of flux. I'm going to have to put it on here as well. Put a little bit of flux because we want that flux to keep there. Every time you solder something, you always want to use flux. It not only cleans the spot, but it helps you with adheves. It adheves. And then you, of course, use a little solder and a little bit of patience. So normally I do this, I pause the camera, but I'm going to try to do this with you guys together. So it's going to be a little difficult for me, but I'm going to do the best I can. See? Now, I like that, but I don't like that. I don't like to have too many wires exposed, so I'm going to do this a little bit differently. Again, it would help with helping hands, but I don't have that. Maybe I should start a Patreon. Ask for some help, for some tools. But anyway, that's one. So the next stop, we're going to do the negative. Again, we're going to take our time. This one needs a little bit more solder than the other one because of obvious reasons. The solder they put on this thing kind of sucked. So let me go ahead and get you back into focus so you guys can see it the best way you can. There you go. And we're going to... Now, always, as a rule of thumb, you bring the solder to the point. You don't bring, you know what I mean? So wherever you want to solder, you want to bring it to the point. Now, I'm going to fix it a little bit because, again, it's a little bit out. The wire's a little out, so please forgive me if you don't see it, but I don't like to have the wire look like that. Like I said, guys, I'm not awesome at soldering, but I'm not that bad either. There you go. That's pretty much what we want. I want it to sit just like that. Go ahead and put it back in the camera. Just like that. So, I'm going to show you so you guys get a basic idea, because I'm going to finish the rest of it off camera so I can get this done. But I wanted to show you. So, you take your board, you put it where the PSP is. Let me bring it out a little bit. It's too far in. So, you put it where the PSP is. And you just push down once it's in there. It's hard to see when I'm doing it on camera. Can't even see it. Okay. There we we go. Looks like it's coming on now. Just taking a time. Again, they don't, like my friend told me, you don't want to constantly, it's got a lot of dirt from the cuts. But there you go. You want it to sit just like that. Just like that. That's all you need. So it sits in place. Once that's done, you start doing the rest of the soldering points. So I'm going to finish that now, guys, and then we'll go from there. Alright, guys, so I'm back. Pretty much we're at the last leg of the course to end our PSP mod battery. So here's what's going to happen. Last time I showed you guys, I had just the board hitting the top half over here. It doesn't work that way because the PSP still needs, well, at least the board still needs pressure to be applied here, right? So I'm going to take this apart real quick because I got to show you the inside of this thing so you guys can get the full effect of what's going on. Just give me a sec. Here. Okay. Okay. So it looks similar to what this is right here, right? We're going to pull my battery out for a second. And it comes out with the whole thing, as you can already see. So what did I do? So now I have the quick release still on the battery. So I'm going to pull that off. Boom. And then we got the battery half. Now, I'm going to show you what I did with the electrical tape because the battery does sit here. So what I did was I de-welded the top half of the pins off, right? And I put three wires as close as I can so we can have the circuit board, because the circuit board still needs to be there. And I used glue. I used hot glue from the hot glue gun. I got this from Michael's for like $2. It was cheap, it was on sale. And I just put it together. So what I do is now I'll just go ahead and push this in, put the battery in. Now it has the pressure it needs from the top here, so I don't have to worry about it, right? And I'm going to put my battery back. So I'm going to have the battery put back in as normal, right? And I still have room to push it in there, so we got that going. Now the reason why I want the quick release is, what if I need to replace this battery? Or what if the battery dies out? Because these batteries are still, it's a LiPo battery. It's still going to die out. Batteries do die. So now with this pushed in, we're going to go over here to the main screen. And it comes right on. I'm going to bring the camera out a little bit so you guys can get a full effect of the PSP. So here we go. And if I go all the way to the right and down, we're going to take a look at the battery information. 7.5 hour battery life. The battery is charged 100%. So for a full almost 8 hours, I can go ahead and use this. Now, the main culprit, or the reason why you would do this, is two reasons. At least the reason why I did this. One was because the UMD was dead on it. And the UMD was mainly why the batteries, these batteries that you would buy separately, the reason why they would die out after 2 or 3 hours, because it was always pushing the UMD. And you didn't want to deal with that, right? So pretty much that's why I extended this out. The UMD here died. I'm going to mod this, put my games in it, and now I have a workable PSP. I want to thank Sean Maroney, or Sean from the Transatlantic Retro. He is awesome with our podcast. I want you to listen to our podcast. He inspired me to do this. He didn't come up with the idea to do this. A lot of people are doing it, but he inspired me to do one of my own, and now I have one to take to work and have fun with and play PlayStation 1 games and stuff on it, and I want to thank him on that one. I also want to thank Wes, $2 Wes. Awesome. Again, guys, you need to watch his YouTube channel. If you haven't, you are not doing... If you love the Game Chasers, dude, this guy is beyond the Game Chasers. You need to watch his show. You will love his show, guys. I would link him to the bottom below, link to his channel, as well as I'll link the Transatlantic Retro, so you can listen up to Sean, because he does come up with awesome ideas I want you guys to take advantage of. Either way, guys, thank you so much for your support here on my channel. We're growing ever so slowly, but we're growing, and I love it. And I will see you next time in the vault.
Dear PSP, check out this sweet game I got.
That ain't built for big boy games. That's built for texting your grandma and calling your girl.
You text your grandma?
Of course I do. And for $9.99, you could be playing this on a PSP. And this, and this.
Those games?
Yeah.
For $9.99.
One second, hold on one second.
Okay.
This guy just don't understand.
Hello?
$9.99, sucker. Step your game up. Marcus, PSP.
PlayStation.